If it's any consolation, Warren Spector says he loves the show.
I'm still cranky at you. Right, let's move on. Now, our favourite professor in a top hat is back with Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask.
I love a good mystery, you guys, and the Professor Layton series always delivers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! I hope you enjoyed tonight's grand miracle. Courtesy of the Masked Gentleman.
This time, the mischievous masked gentleman is terrorizing the city of Montedor, and it's up to Professor, along with his apprentice Luke and assistant Emmy, to uncover the truth behind the miracles and identify the shadowy villain. Without spoiling too much, I really love the story and how it takes place in both the present and recounting some of Professor Layton's high school days.
All right, class, you've proven your legs work. Now please exercise your backsides and be seated.
Much of the gameplay is similar to previous Layton games. You still talk to people around town to try and find clues to help solve the mystery, and you still solve many puzzles along the way. But this is the first Professor Layton game on the 3DS, so there are also a few changes. You now use the touchscreen to move a magnifying glass which appears on the top screen, which allows you to explore the area and talk to people by tapping on them.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to that, Darren. I was so used to tapping on the bottom screen for hint coins and hidden items, but I did get the hang of it eventually. The magnifying glass also changes colour when it's over something you can interact with, so it's less of a mad tap everywhere on the screen, and more a gentle drag to find those hot spots that you can trigger.
But those locations, Badge, they're just gorgeous. As you move your magnifying glass around, it's as if you're looking into a living diorama, especially with the 3D on. Locations feel more alive than in previous games, with objects and people moving about.
Yeah, I mean, the games have always looked quite nice, but this is a real step up, and I love that victory point in 3D. I do wish the puzzles utilised the 3D a bit more, though.
I don't know, Badge. I don't think every 3DS game needs to utilise the 3D in every part of it, but, you know, this was a launch title in Japan, so maybe future games will utilise the 3D a little bit more.
Oh, I also enjoyed the way the camera shifts subtly between locations as well. Plus, this is the first Professor Layton game to also feature characters rendered in 3D who move and gesture as they speak, which I quite liked.
Yeah, guys, I was a bit worried when I heard they ditched those beautifully painted character portraits, but I have to say, I think they've really nailed the look and feel of Layton games in this transition to 3D.
What on earth is going on here?
Statues?
Hey, I'm trying to escape here. Get out of the way, will you?
The cel-shaded characters keep that painted feel, with clothing and hair not just being a flat single colour, but having texture to them. Layton's high school hair was particularly spunky.
Soon our names will be in all the papers. You'll be the famous scholar Herschel Layton.
And the people you run into are once again delightfully over the top and full of character.
Yeah, and that's one thing these games have always done quite well. Every character has a distinct personality, and that's demonstrated by the way they look and the way they speak. And also, every puzzle has a backstory and personality as well. But there is a lot of reading.
Yeah, I do wish they'd voiced more of it. I mean, the little bits of voice acting in Professor Layton games are always done so brilliantly, so I was a bit disappointed when some of the crucial story moments weren't voiced.
Yeah, they always shower you with heaps of it right at the start in the intro, and then they just kind of strip it back from there on, and that's a shame.
Well, we should wrap this up, guys. Final thoughts?
It feels like the Layton games, which I like, but it's got a fresh coat of 3D paint, so I'm giving it 8 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I agree. I think it's one of the most beautiful games we've seen on the 3DS to date. I'm giving it 8 as well.